when you feel comfortable enough to want to come up here and talk to you guys. So yeah, know thyself, Kriya Yoga, and universal intelligence. So I want to invite us to start by closing our eyes. So just close your eyes. And if you feel comfortable enough to do that, just put your hands on your belly. And just take a couple of deep breaths down, 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 and in. And if you can, really feel your body under your hands. How well do you know this person? Really, how well do you know this person? And my invitation for you is, rather than answer the question, to actually allow the question to be what burns inside, the living flame inside, the question of who am I? Who am I? And you can open your eyes whenever you want now. And so, who are we? Who are we? What are we? I think we are these multi-dimensional beings. I think of concentric circles often. We're dynamic, and it's sort of a play in between the different levels of our being. So we have the physicality, or physiology, psychology. We have a mental and emotional landscape. We have a mental and emotional history. Well, we have a history of all the levels, and potentially a spiritual dimension to our life as well. So how well do we know all of these aspects of ourselves and how they all play together and change constantly? And so for me, this question of who am I, this living flame has been burning inside of me for the last 11 years now, since yoga found me. I mean, probably my whole life, but really focused for the last 11 years since yoga found me. And now my life is devoted to this question. My life is devoted to the question of who am I? And because that's what yoga really is in its truest sense. Maybe not in the way that we frame it these days as a simple exercise, but in its truest sense, it's a technology for self-realization, for realizing one's own potential. It's a philosophy, a science, and an art of who am I, of know thyself. And so quarter one, week one, philosophy one, Dr. Dill, you know, what is chiropractic? Chiropractic, a philosophy, a science, an art of things natural. So for me, I was like, oh, hallelujah, I made the right decision, I'm in the right place. And so I felt like there would be this organic marriage in between where I am now and the way that I already, aspire to live my life. So as I move deeper into the program now, I find that I feel often certain aspects of my being are overstuffed and other dimensions of my being are undernourished. And so I have a quote by Deepak Chopra that I think speaks to this really well. Today we must look with new eyes into the mystery of existence, for as proud children of science and reason, we have made ourselves orphans of wisdom. Orphans of wisdom, like I get like shivers when I hear that. I mean, I think we're a special group, but in general, I go orphans of wisdom, and sometimes I feel that here. I talk to people and I feel like I'm a big brain on a stick. I'm like falling, forward in my head, and like, where's my heart? Where's my soul? And, oh yeah, I have like all these other layers of being. So how do we continue to nurture our wisdom self? How do we grow our wisdom? And so the seed or the image that I'd like to plant in your soil today is that of, can we empty ourselves as much as we fill ourselves? Can we empty ourselves as much as we fill ourselves? And so that's where Kriya Yoga comes in. Kriya Yoga is a psychological principle in yoga. It comes from the Yoga Sutra. And these are the three aspects of Kriya Yoga. It literally translates to do or to act, Kriya. So it's yoga in action. It's the action of know thyself. Three aspects: tapas, swadhyaya, and ishvara pranidhana. And these two I'll fly through because this is the one. tapas literally means to burn or to cook, and it's like action. It's practice, it's repetition, it's discipline, it's effort, it's things that we're all, I think, pretty good at. Intellect. And swadhyaya literally means self-study, and in the yoga tradition there's 3 ways of studying the self. Through a trusted source, which could be a teacher or a master or a mentor. It could be, does that mean 5 minutes left?
Yeah.
Okay. It could be a text. That could be your trusted source. Another way of knowing, trial and error. Yes, sometimes no. And then the most profound way of knowing, according to the yoga tradition, is direct experience. So you know when you know, right? But here's the one I want to focus on, Ishvara Pranidhana. And this one I feel like is, that's where the can we empty ourselves as much as we fill ourselves piece comes in. And also this is where us as chiropractors, this is it. This means universal intelligence. It means surrendering to universal intelligence. And so the piece that I want to invite into the space today and more into my life is the surrender piece. The ways of knowing, the ways of developing wisdom through silence, through space, through listening, through letting go, through trust. And did I mention silence, space, letting go, and grace? And how can we know universal intelligence unless we look in? I want us to look in. I want us to keep looking in and looking in and looking in and getting to know ourselves on every level. And we got to get in touch, I think we got to get in touch with our deepest fears. We have to get in touch with our pain and our despair, our loneliness. It's the same wellspring from which joy and our own divinity and grace and our own courage and power come from it, but it's just as important, those aspects of our sort of shadow, if you will. And so the thing that I want to finish with is, to turn in, we need to look in, get quiet. If we can like drop below the noise, the static, and all of the brain on a stickness. And the reason why I feel like this is so important is because we talk about wanting to serve. And I know that we all want to, and we do, and we're killing it already, you know? And we focus on outside, we focus on other, we focus on serving other, and we focus on clearing the interference in the nervous system of other. And so my invitation, what I leave you with today is, can we clear the interference here? And not just in our nervous system, although that's very important. Please get checked and get adjusted if necessary. But can we clear the interference between here and here? Or here and here? Can we clear the interference between here and here? So that when we are serving, this channel is clear.